Welcome! We're gonna figure out how terrible Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 is. I'm going to go in with an open mind, because we'll just see. We're just gonna find out. Let's see. This black screen's lasting quite a while. Yep. There we go. Hey, look, Activision. Okay, it's a little glitchy. Sound's cutting out. It's having slowdown on the intro screen. It's probably not a good sign for things to come. Just gonna say that. Okay. So this is just gonna be like a first impressions type video. Because I've just heard so many terrible things about this game. So let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. I was a pretty big fan of well, these graphics leave something to be desired. So you go with right. The buttons are different. You don't hold A to go faster, you hold right trigger. So they just added an extra, this frame rate. This is, I don't need a tutorial. I don't want a tutorial. I do not want to do a tutorial. What was I thinking? No. A lot of levels. One's in space. Okay. Collect skate, collect combo, collect VHS, DVD, missions. Okay. So let's just see what we've got here. Oh, these graphics. Look at these graphics. Like, okay, let's compare this to, like, the old school Tony Hawk games. Oh, the music just cuts out. It's good. It's like weirdly, I don't know, man. Like, I am streaming this to my computer, so maybe some of the frame rate issues are because of that, but I've streamed games to my computer before, and okay, it wasn't like this. Is there no time limit? You can just go get the stuff here. So they added a thing where if you push Y or triangle, you slam on the ground, but it's also the same button as grind. So I guess you could accidentally just miss a rail, but I haven't run into too many problems. But people were complaining about that online. But so I'm really unsure why they went with this like fake cell shaded look. Maybe it's just to hide the bad graphics, because that's what it seems like. Oh, they had some ragdoll. Still got reverts. Oh wait, left bumper just activate like your super mode. Do you not have super? I'm sure there's. Oh, okay, I wanted to grind on that rail, not do that. I've been playing too much Jet Set Radio Future lately. I'm just mashing buttons during the grind to try to switch my grind. So, okay, so you have like the standard stuff without a timer. So I guess there's no score. Trick Spot Scallywag. So you have like the overworld map area where you just do the collection stuff, and then you get various missions that, I mean, I guess this is a mission. Well, okay. Am I in a quest? What's like? Did I start a mission? I'm unsure what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Did it... Like... Did it start the mission? Scores... Okay, now it's doing that. It just didn't last time. So I have a minute to score points. You know, okay, so I'm going to say this. People were saying this game was, like, completely unplayable. I don't know, maybe this had too high expectations or something. But honestly, it feels like the old Tony Hawk games. I mean, it's a little... maybe a little janky, but I just don't think it's as bad as people were saying it was. Like, first impressions, like, people were saying it's going to be, like, terrible. You know what I mean? But, like, it just feels like an old Tony Hawk game. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are just focusing too much on the negative stuff when just trying to be, I don't know. I'm just trying to start a controversy or something, because maybe the issue is that it's a $60 game and that there are some glitches in it. But I mean, I gameflied this game, so I didn't spend $60 on it. I'll just put that out there right now. But especially with what people were saying, I wanted to try it out first. You know what I mean? And I gotta be honest, first impressions at least, it's not as bad as people were saying. Like, yeah, it's kind of basic in, like, it's not the open world style anymore. Oops. And sure, there might be some graphical glitches when you crash, but does that affect the gameplay that much? I would argue no. Okay, so it's not the open world type game, so it's kind of basic. Like, it's more like the older games, which is fine, but I liked the direction the series was going, I guess. Like, I liked American Wasteland and Project 8 quite a bit. I didn't really play Proving Grounds that much, but I still gotta say Tony Hawk 3 is probably my favorite in the series. But the open world ones are fine. Whoa, okay. But this game, sure, the graphics pretty bad. Like, it looks like, you know, like an average 360 or PS3 game, but not a current gen release. And they said it was because they wanted to make sure it had a solid frame rate with multiple people skating around, because you can have a ton of people, I guess, playing, but I'm not even getting a solid frame rate as it is. But that could be due to streaming at the highest quality streaming. Again, that might have, I'm sure that has part to do with it, but I haven't had this kind of issue before. Did I just not get a score for it? It's a Tony Hawk game. I feel like it's better than the Tony Hawk HD, that game that came out a couple years ago, because that was just like going through the paces. It didn't have any of the soul of the old games, I guess, if that makes any sense. But this, it's just, it is what it is. I guess people would probably feel better about it if it was like a $20 game or something, which I can understand. Maybe even just like a normal budget release, like $40, would probably be easier to digest. Because $60 for this kind of game in this day and age does seem like quite a bit. I'm sure it won't be $60 for long, especially with what the press is saying about it. But like, okay, so it's not perfect, but people are giving it like 2 out of 10. And I feel like that is quite harsh. It's a functional game. It's fine. It's not the best Tony Hawk, but I don't know, man. It's not worse than like Ride or something. Like all the, I mean, it works. Like it's functional. All the buttons do what they are supposed to do. You can revert, you can manual, you can wall ride, you can do tricks, combos. Like it's all that same stuff. That's not what people are complaining about. So how would this game compare? Like if it came out when all the other games were coming out, like, or say it came out right after 4 or something, I think people would have been fine with it. Honestly. Like I just think people had maybe these weird, really high expectations for the game. Like I don't know what they thought it was gonna be. It's like I just don't know. Like just maybe that they're crazy. Like it feels like the old Tony Hawk games. It feels like, you know, this would have come after 4. You know, before the like completely wide open games. Like I gotta say the gameplay is here. Like I don't know what people are talking about. It feels the same. Like I haven't played a Tony Hawk game in years, and it just like instantly just pick up and play. Like it feels the same. I just don't know what people are complaining about. Like they are being babies. It's not perfect. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so I just played this game a little bit upstairs. And I disabled streaming. And I gotta say, the frame rate is pretty similar. Like, it's just, the frame rate is not solid. This might be slightly worse. But it's comparable. Like, these frame drops and stuff are not all because of the streaming. It's pretty much because the game is like that. I gotta say though, at least this level, is like very dead. Like there's nothing going on. You know, there's no NPCs just chatting like there was in the old ones, just hanging out. It's just kind of a sterile environment. Which, that is a problem, because just seeing all the stuff going on was part of the fun. So, from what I've seen in my first few minutes of this game, like I haven't played a lot, obviously, but the biggest issues I see are the graphics and the frame rate. If the graphics are this like basic, which is not a problem in this kind of game, because these games are definitely about the gameplay and not like they've never had like awesome graphics. So the graphics could be forgiven and overlooked if there was a solid, you know, frame rate, which there's not. There's lots of dips, but even so, the game's still playable. You know, I mean, it's a little annoying. I haven't run into these so-called game-breaking glitches that people have talked about where the game's like unplayable and a joke and a disaster. You know, it still plays like Tony Hawk. Yeah, these graphics, man. They're really bad. They're like this looks like Tony Hawk 3 or something. Tony Hawk 4. Like it's like the textures. Oh, they take like an hour to load in. Jaws. Look at that. Look how long that took to load. Oh, okay. I guess you just activate special mode and then you do your special tricks instead of the normal tricks. So now I'm going to play Bonfire Beach. And it's a private game. I don't want other people in there. So apparently you can interact with people online and play custom levels and do co-op versus all that stuff, which is fine, but I'm just not going to deal with that right now. I don't feel like it. What? That's a problem. How do you fail to join an online session when I said do a private game? Just like, this game looks like a turd. Like, that is the biggest problem. Okay. And these things teleport you? That's kind of cool. I don't know, man. It feels like Tony Hawk 3 or Tony Hawk 4. Final word. Because I get it. I mean, I'm sure stuff gets better or worse depending on the level and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. First impressions. Is this game as bad as people have been saying? Is this game a 2 or 3 out of 10 like people have been saying? I honestly have to say no. It's not that bad. It's not perfect. It's not the best Tony Hawk game. It has some problems. It's, I don't know, it's like a solid 7 at least. I don't know. People are crazy. It's not that bad. It feels like a Tony Hawk game. Just a bit too crazy. Like, I do think that the biggest issue with this game is that it's a $60 game. If this game was, you know, like 20 or even $40, I don't think anyone would even say anything. Can I not start this mission? But yeah, I mean, this game's not bad. It's fine. It's fine. The game is fine. The missions seem a little bit less related to the actual stuff on the map. Like the old games, like it was like, oh, go, you know, get the cat out of the tree, and I don't know, go help Old Man Smithers grind all the squirrels on the electrical outlets, and just silly stuff like that. These seem more like go jump through the hoop that just appears when you start the mission. Like, they're less reliant on the actual environment, which is a shame. People need to just relax. This game's not that bad. For $60, yeah, I can see maybe there's an issue. But still, there are far worse games that have gotten higher reviews than this game. So, people just need to relax. It's Tony Hawk. So far, it's fun. The frame rate and graphics are an issue. It's a little glitchy sometimes. Yeah, that's it. That's what I have to say about this game. Like, I'm enjoying it enough. Like, I'm not gonna immediately send it back to GameFly. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, there's not too much else to say. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's not perfect, but it's fine. People just love to complain. Because when games are looked forward to and people are like, oh yeah, new whatever is coming out, and people are excited about a game, if a company gives it a low review, people go to that site more. It drives more views because it's a controversy. They're like, oh, this game is supposed to be awesome and it sucks. Or any game with a low review drives more views. I honestly think that's what this is about. Like, they're like, we could give this game like a 5, but then nobody would read our review. If we give it a 1, people would be like, whoa, what's wrong with this game? I gotta read that article. And I honestly think that's what happened to this game. Like, people were hoping it would be good. Ended up not being amazing. So all these quote-unquote news outlets are just trying to, you know, create stupid clickbait articles like, Tony Hawk is the worst game ever, do not buy this game, it's a piece of trash, find out why here, you know. And then they're like, because I ran into a graphical glitch once, 0 out of 10. It's fine. If you like Tony Hawk, like the old Tony Hawk games, I would at least rent this game. Give it a shot. Like, it's not like you have anything else that it's competing with. Like, if you haven't played a game like this in a while and you want a new one, this game's not bad. I am enjoying it. I've only played it for about an hour. But so far, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I just don't know what else to say. Like, people are complaining way too much about this game. Alright, well, that's all I have to say about this. That's honestly what I believe. If this game, from what you've seen, looks like a Tony Hawk game, then, you know, you'll probably enjoy it. At least somewhat. It's worth a rental. If you don't like Tony Hawk games, this game's not going to change your mind. Because, you know, it's a Tony Hawk game. If something drastically changes, might do like a like, I don't know, recap video, a revisited type video, but I doubt it. From what I've seen, it's Tony Hawk, and I don't think it's gonna get much worse or better than what I've seen. I'll see you guys later. This is Tony Hawk 5. People say it's the worst game ever. I disagree. I think it's fine. That's it. The end. See you guys later.